Well, the big news breaking at this hour is that reports are indicating now that India has decided to invite the South African President Cyril Ramaphosa as its chief guest at the next Republic Day celebrations. An official announcement is likely soon, but initial reports suggesting that the South African President may now be the main invitee for the Republic Day celebrations, although there is no official announcement of this. Now, this comes, of course, in the backdrop of reports that US President Donald Trump did not accept the invitation to be the chief guest at the Republic Day celebrations here in India, saying that the dates were clashing, but it was termed by many as an embarrassment for the Indian government, as well as the US President turned down the request to be the chief guest for the Republic Day. There were also rumors at one point that the South Asian neighbors may be invited as the chief guest for Republic Day celebrations. But however, it seems that the government has decided to keep it safe and invite the South African President Cyril Ramaphosa instead. Remember, there have been a lot of fresh elections in South Asia recently and a lot of leadership changes. The government had at one point thought that they may be inviting a neighbor, but unofficial sources, of course, now confirming and several reports suggesting that the South African President Cyril Ramaphosa may be the choice of this government. And Karthikeya Sharma, my colleague, is now joining us for more on this. So Karthikeya, of course, no official announcement as of now, but initial reports suggesting that it may very well be the South African president.
Yes, see, as of now, though it's in process, the name has come up of Cyril Ramaphosa, and this has to be seen in context or in the wake of the invitation which had gone to United States President Donald Trump. And because of prior arrangements, he declined the invitation. So the people who are involved in this process, a couple of leaders were shortlisted. But the whole issue was that Republic Day and the guest who is invited is always showcased to show ties with a country. Like, for example, the first person, in the first Republic Day parade, we had the Indonesian president who came. And at that point of time, it was about India in East Asia and the unity of non-aligned movement, and those who believe that Southeast Asian nations should get freedom from colonial rulers like Dutch and British. And yes, India got freedom in 47, but most of the Southeast Asian countries got their freedom in 50s, 60s, and 70s. So yes, it has to be seen in that context. But I would say that the importance here is that India has a strong partnership with South Africa post-apartheid, and it's not only about the issues of apartheid or the way India was committed. It's about business. It's about the fact that it's a potent economic player in Africa, where China has made great strides, and it's an important component of BRICS, and that should also not be forgotten.
Yes, absolutely. That shouldn't be forgotten as well, that the South African nation, of course, South Africa has been a close ally of India through the years post-apartheid. And of course, as Karthikeya was pointing out, this is still to be officially announced. There was, as I was pointing out earlier, speculation that there may be a South Asian neighbor that could have been also invited, but that certainly may not be happening at this moment. It would be tricky as well, and coming, of course, in the backdrop of US President Donald Trump turning down India's invitation to be the chief guest at the 70th Republic Day celebrations as well.